And because of those things, when it came time to pivot and that happened, I was able to lean into, okay, what is the next evolution for me? What are my gifts? What do I love doing? What comes easily, and how can I monetize it? And so, fast forward to today, I'm not associated with a network marketing company. I don't build a network marketing. I help network marketers brand themselves, work through money mindset. I teach the foundational skills, and I freaking love network marketing. But for me, where I feel most aligned right now is working with them, not building a team. But because I had invested so much time and energy into growing myself and a particular skill set and branding myself, the pivot wasn't easy, but it worked, right?
So, as you heard in that little clip, that is my dear, dear friend, Melissa Martin. She is one of the most incredible money mindset coaches I've known, but also someone that I consider a dear friend. And she helps, and I know so many network marketers listen to this podcast. You are going to get so much knowledge from her in this episode. I cannot wait for you to hear it. But just as a reminder, this coming Tuesday, September 8th, my brand new LinkedIn book is coming out. It's a follow-up to my original best-selling book. This one's called The Marketing Workbook for LinkedIn. It's a strategic workbook to work you through everything that needs to be done, no matter what your profession or background is. So if you guys head over to my Facebook page or my business page, you will see a waiting list link where you can be one of the first people to get the book. And get this, those that purchase the book between the first 5 days, so between the 8th and the 13th, I am going to be giving away 20 different gifts and prizes to those that support the book and write a genuine and authentic review on Amazon after they purchase. So again, enjoy this incredible episode with my incredible friend, Melissa Martin, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Welcome to the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. I am your host, Scott Aaron, and each and every week, I'm going to come to you with short, simple, and powerful tactics of how you can grow your network marketing business, brand, bank account, and impact on those around you. And just remember, network marketing is not easy, but it can be made easy with simple steps to create the success that you truly deserve. So Melissa, welcome to today's episode, and I'm excited my listeners know by now after nearly 200 episodes that I'm excited for every episode, but when I have one of my closest friends come on here that I literally I can't count how many brainstorming sessions we have done offline at this point where we have both kind of like, I think we just struck oil again with an idea. When I get to bring that person on here, especially when they are about to launch something epic. So again, this is not like a ploy to get you guys to listen to this entire episode, but we can't talk about what Melissa is about to launch right now. So you are going to have to sit down and you are going to have to sit through this and listen to the gold that she is going to share with us. And then at the end, obviously, we're going to talk about all the amazing things and the special announcement that Melissa has of what she's launching very, very soon. So Melissa and I met very early on in the beginning of 2019, so nearly a year and a half ago. And we were in a mastermind, Chris Harder's For the Love of Money mastermind. And, Melissa has her own business and she's going to tell you about it, but she also has a partnership in another business with another amazing human being, Sandy Vo. And the three of us just really, really connected. And every time we got onto a Zoom or we were having lunch together, like it was just this intuitive and this symbiotic connection. Like, I mean, they're two dear friends of mine, and Melissa and I talk on the reg, and they're just amazing, amazing people. So again, I've kind of blabbed on and on, so I kind of want to just have you start talking now. So welcome to the episode, number one. And number two, what my audience loves knowing, and they may have heard, and guys, you may have recognized Melissa because her and Sandy were on my first dual episode ever as Ladies Aligned early on in my podcast. So it's been a while since, and this is her first solo episode on here, which I'm really excited about. So everyone loves to know, since everyone's on a different journey in entrepreneurship, what was that entrepreneurial spark that kind of lit you up, that's continued you on this path of growth and prosperity and always moving forward to just impact and inspire as many people as you have?
Well, thank you, Scott, for that intro. I feel like everyone needs a Scott Aaron in their life to make them feel like the superhuman version of themselves. So thank you for just always seeing the highest version of me. I appreciate you for that so much. So to answer your question, where did that entrepreneurial spark come from, or when did it start? I worked in the financial service industry for 15 plus years, and I got to a point where I was so tired of the grind of just like checking the boxes and like working for somebody else. It just for anybody that works in the corporate world and has done it for a long time, you probably know how I feel. And I thought the next evolution of my career was to go get my master's degree. And I bought the books for the GMATs, and they sat and collected dust in my apartment for like 6 months. And it gave me an opportunity to really sit and be like, what do I really want to do? Like, I want to help people. So I thought the next step for me was actually to become a massage therapist. I don't even know if we've ever talked about this. The look on your face tells me no. So I enrolled in massage therapy school. That was going to be my plan B. Like, I was going to leave the corporate world and I was going to become a massage therapist. And in the midst of all of this happening, the company that I was working for completely eliminated the group that I was part of, and I got laid off. And it was one of those moments in my life where I felt like I'd lost my identity. I don't know if you've ever had something like that. I know you have, but for anyone listening, like, I think sometimes we tie so much of our identity to our job. And if I didn't have that, then who was I? And it put me in a space of depression. It put me in a space of soul searching and a space of over $100,000 of debt, thinking of filing for bankruptcy. Like, my unemployment was about to end. And I'll spare you the details, but I ended up missing the deadline to apply for my state license to practice massage, because I needed a state license and I couldn't apply again for 6 months. So my plan B to do massage therapy was out the window. So I'm sitting in this place of like misery. And I thought a good idea would be to do a fitness competition, because if I had abs, that would literally solve all my problems, right? So I reached out to a coach in my community, and she actually introduced me to network marketing. And like most people, I got great results on the products, thought the business was for other people, and I needed to do the right thing, I'm using air quotes, and find another job that had stability, that had, a 401k and had a steady income, because that's my core wound is safety. And to me, that shows up in money. And I needed a job that provided money that would allow me to feel safe. And so I ended up having no luck getting another job. The universe kept redirecting me. I'm like, I have so much experience. Why will no one hire me? Well, it turns out I was becoming unhireable because there was a different plan for me, right? And sometimes rejection is redirection, and I was being redirected. And so I was having such great results on products with network marketing. Everyone was asking me, what are you doing? I thought, why not try? And maybe this can be an in the meantime thing that can help me financially, that I can do until I find a real job. So I started building a network marketing, and I matched my corporate income within 8 months. And I'm going, okay, it took me 15 years to get to that income level, and I just did this in 8 months. Like, why do I want to get another job? Like, that doesn't. So, and here's to kind of like put a bow on this from an entrepreneurial perspective. What I started to see network marketing provided for me was real leadership, not situational leadership. Because if I had gone to my boss in my job and said, I want to be a massage therapist, I would be blacklisted for every promotion possible because that doesn't fit into their box. But in network marketing, if I wanted to go to my leader and say, my dream is to open a massage therapy business, they would say, great, let me teach you how to fund that dream through this vehicle of network marketing. So it just honestly exposed me to what was possible. I started to see life through a completely different lens. I didn't have, like, my family is not a family of entrepreneurs. So this whole idea of, being your own boss and making your own hours was so new to me. But network marketing was literally the thing that has propelled me into being a successful entrepreneur today, like 100%.
So there's so much that I want to unpack. I mean, there's two things that I want to talk about first. So my first question is, what was the most important lesson that you learned when you were in the financial services profession that you were then able to cross over into entrepreneurship and then directly apply that to your network marketing business? Because again, you know, your story, it's, people are listening to that and they're like, holy shit, she just, created a 6-figure income in 8 months. Like, I've been doing this for 8 years and I'm still just getting my products paid for. Listen, everyone's chapters look different in their book of life, but
Yeah.
there's a reason behind all of it. Like, again, I shot out of a cannon just because I'd been in sales my whole life. I was in health and wellness. I could sell snow to an Eskimo. People trusted me and I believed in what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that lesson of
Mm-hmm.
what you learned in financial services that you were then able to apply in network marketing that really allowed you to transcend in those first 8 months?
Yeah, this is so important because the reality is anybody can do network marketing. If you have no business experience whatsoever, it is literally a ready to go business in a box. It's like entrepreneurship with training wheels, truly. What I think helped me have success is exactly that. I had 15 years of sales experience, right? So I came into a business and a duplicatable system having a specific skill set, having a specific network, and having a specific niche or reputation, right? So I had sales training, I had presentation training, I knew about relationship management, I knew how to talk about money. um, I had a really big network. I was in a sorority. I was living in my hometown, so I had a lot of people that I knew there. I was doing fitness competitions. So I had many different types of networks that I could tap into. And I was known for something. I had just pivoted out of the financial service industry into fitness. I was doing competitions. I was training in a gym. So people on my social media platforms, because this is 2012, by the way, so I should preface that and say social media was really gaining steam. I was known as the fitness girl. So you take those three things, having a specific skill set that has to do with like public speaking, sales and marketing, relationship management, anything that's going to help you be charismatic and build relationships. I had a network and I was known for something, and I just applied that to the vehicle, and success just happened very quickly. But I recognize that not everybody comes into network marketing with those skill sets. So I think it's really important to note that yes, anybody can have success in network marketing. However, what's going to determine your success will be a skill set that you already have that you can apply here, a network, or that you're known for something. And if you don't have those things, that's okay. But it just means that you may have to invest a little bit more time into building some of those skills.
And those things can be developed over time. And, you know, you may be sitting there and listening to this and you may be saying, well, I'm not known for anything. We all have something that we're good at. Every human being is skilled at something, and you can be known for something. Now, the one big thing that you really, that stood out to me is that you understood money.
Mm.
You understood how to talk about money. You understood how to explain how money works. And obviously you applied that to the network marketing model, and obviously success then followed. But you and I both have had many, many conversations that we truly feel that the
because the entry point into network marketing is so available and it's at such a low level that, fairly anybody can afford it, depending upon the opportunity, that a lot of the people didn't have the business mindset or monetary mindset that you and I did. I was running multiple organizations. You were basically surrounded by money all the time. So when you start learning about money and your dialogue with money and your relationship with money, as opposed to someone that, has been told that money is evil and it's dirty and rich people are greedy and it doesn't grow on trees and I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I'm just getting by, and all of those monetary stories become part of your DNA. It becomes a disadvantage in network marketing. So how important is it, especially in 2020 moving forward with how crazy this year has been? How important is monetary literacy in network marketing this year moving forward for someone to truly become successful in network marketing?
Oh my gosh. Whether you choose to subscribe to this belief or not, money is the energy and the currency that we all operate from. It becomes such a powerful baseline for us to measure success, for us to measure worthiness, for us to measure safety, for us to measure commitment level. Like there's so many examples, and I can go into a few if you'd like, but I think it's important to note that when I joined network marketing, I was $100,000 in debt. Like I was on the verge of bankruptcy and I was judging myself big time. I was tying my self-worth to my net worth. So, from the outside looking in, I drove a nice car, I had a nice apartment, I had this prestigious career, I worked in hedge funds, and I was making great money. So I worked in the money field. Like, of course, I knew about money, but on the inside, I was judging myself because my money mindset was total crap. It really was. So the first thing is you have to really decide, and this is the same with anything you do in life, whether it's network marketing, your relationship, you have to decide that the current reality that you're living in is not one that you want. And if you're hitting a ceiling in network marketing financially, if you're not growing from a monetary perspective, then you have to take evaluation of the beliefs that you have and the relationship that you have to money. And that's exactly what I did. So I started to notice my beliefs that were coming up. I started to notice how I was relating to different situations around money. And then I started to educate myself. I started to listen to podcasts. I started to read books. Like, we can't change anything until we bring awareness to it, right? And once we see it, we can't unsee it. So I knew that there was like a cog in the wheel, if you would, to my ability to grow my money mindset. And when you are dealing with like business, like person to person selling, because network marketing is really about selling and it's about a value exchange. If you don't know the value of what you're providing, and this comes from doing the work around your money mindset, if you can't get behind the value of your coaching, the value of the product, it's going to feel very challenging for you to actually explain that to the other person and help them see what separating with their money is going to yield them. Because money and sales is an energy exchange, right? So let me break this down in a more relatable way. So I used to do health coaching, right? So the network marketing company that I was in was like a health and wellness company. So if I wanted to get somebody started for $300 for 30 days and I thought the products were expensive, then what do you think the person on the other end is going to feel? If I don't believe and know the value that, number one, the products provide, and number two, the value that I provide, if I'm not solid in that, then I won't be able to articulate that to the person on the other end of the conversation. So if that person is going to invest, keyword, invest $300 into products, what is the value exchange that they're going to receive on the back end of it? They're going to receive my time. They're going to receive my coaching. They're going to receive the products. And as a result, they're going to move further away from the pain that they're in, which could be, weight loss, energy, digestive health, whatever, and get closer to pleasure. And that's what motivates people. So once I wrapped my head around the value exchange that money provides, then it started to become really easy for me to have sales conversations. And I think if you're in network marketing or any business that requires you to sell something, yourself, a product, if you don't have that mindset of I'm getting into the energetics of service, and here's what the value of my service is, and this is an investment for the person on the other end of the conversation, it becomes really challenging when people have money objections, because you don't anchor into the value behind it. So I had to do a lot of work around that.
Well, I think you're still doing work around it, and we all are a work in progress. No matter what income level you're at, there's still you get to whatever $100,000 a year, then you get to $250,000 a year, then you get $500,000 a year, and then you want to shoot for $1 million. Now, let me just tell you, the more money you make, the bigger of a mindset shift you have to make, because there's obviously there's new growth that needs to happen. So for those people that are thinking like, oh, when I get there, I quote unquote have made it. You've never made it. When you think you know everything, you know nothing. And it's always a progressive thing. But I think one of the main things that you talked about is people pick up on your energy. And this happens to me all the time. I'll be talking to someone about my services, and they're like, man, you're really confident. And I'm like, well, of course, because I know what I do works. Why would I not talk confidently? And again, in the beginning, it always wasn't like that. I always, because I come from the wellness background as well, I always correlate things easily to the fitness industry. You don't go to the gym once and come out and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You have to get your repetitions in, just like your dialogue with money, just like your relationship with money, just like when you're communicating to other people, closing sales, you have to get your repetitions in. It's not going to happen overnight. And I think that's the big thing that you guys need to understand. Melissa didn't have 2 or 3 conversations. She had 2,000 to 3,000 conversations, still has conversations to this day, just in a different manner. So for those of you that are saying to yourselves, I don't think I can do this. I'm just not confident. All that means is you haven't spoken to enough people yet. It's a numbers game. So again, we know the importance of understanding that your words are your law, and people can pick up that energy through a phone call, on a Zoom, and whether you guys want to realize it or not, network marketing is sales. People use this word share. That's like this soft word of saying we share everything. And listen, you're in sales. Sales is the highest paid profession in the world. That's why all these people are making money, because you have to sell. You got to sell the dream. You got to sell the opportunity. You got to sell the product, and you got to sell the fact that this person also has the same God-given opportunity that you do. So if you can't really lean into the fact that this is all about networking, marketing, and sales, it may not be the best fit for you. But if you're open to that and you lean into it, a lot of magical things can happen. So again, I want to still stick around the whole money thing, but my audience deserves to know something that really, really challenged you last July. And I was in the thick of it with you. I remember having lunch literally outside right before our mastermind was going to start. And it was you, me, Sandy, Jordan was sitting behind us, and you had just been given a bombshell. So, and again, this is not, we're not going to share this with you guys to say this is going to happen to you, but it's important for Melissa to share this aspect of her story, because you guys see the glory of everything that she's doing now, but you have to understand, someone like Melissa can bounce back as quickly as she has is because she put the repetition, the time, the energy, and the effort all leading up to this. She was built for this type of situation. So,
I love you, Scott. You're my favorite.
I love you too. So let's talk about, obviously things were going great. Now, just to be clear, guys, Melissa when she was in network marketing, she was one of the top leaders in the, not just in her organization, the entire company, multiple six figures, multiple years. So let's talk about, we're rolling into the beginning of 2019, and then there was a shift that happened midway through that year that has basically sent you on this new path of discovery that is opening up so many doors. So everything happens for you and not to you. So let's talk about what happened.
Yeah. So I think it's important to like anchor these couple of points and kind of give some context. So coming into network marketing, you know, I had 15 years in the corporate industry, in the financial service industry, and I learned public speaking. I learned sales process. I learned relationship management. I learned time management. Coming into network marketing, I learned leadership development. I learned mindset. I learned team development. I learned personal growth. I learned personal accountability, because when you become your own boss, right, you have to be accountable for your own schedule and you have to be accountable to yourself. So understanding that these things build one on top of the other. And I built a team of over 5,000. I was earning multiple six figures. I was speaking on stages, and I got to a point where I recognized that my growth was capped because I had gotten to a point where what I needed was outside of the leadership that I had. I knew the processes, I knew the systems, I knew the mindset work, but I was ready for the next level. And I was wondering, how can I show up more authentically? Because there was a part of me that I felt like I wasn't honoring. There was a bigger story that I wanted to tell. And I decided to actually invest in some coaches and some programs outside of network marketing. I wanted to learn more about branding. I wanted to learn more about niching and relationship management. I wanted to learn more about money mindset. I wanted to gain skills that I just wasn't getting within network marketing. So I'm grateful I did that, because I started to recognize that the only thing that we own in our life is our reputation and what we stand for. And I really wanted to be known for more than the health and wellness girl. I think it's also important to note that I started to feel less and less in alignment with fitness, because I struggled for a long time post competition to find like my uniqueness. Like I didn't want to be photo shoot ready 24/7. And when you're a health coach and you don't feel aligned with health coaching anymore, I'm aligned with wellness. But anyway, the point is, I learned that I wanted to start branding myself. I wanted to start sharing my story because I wanted to create deeper connection. And I believe that vulnerability is the pathway to connection. And the thing that really drove me to get involved with network marketing was debt and financial freedom. So it was about 2016, 2017 that I started to show up and share my truth more and start branding myself around money mindset, start branding myself around abundance and financial literacy. And that was the platform that I was really passionate about. That's what I wanted to be known for. I didn't want to be known as the supplement girl. I wanted to be known as the girl who can teach you how to have financial literacy through the use of this vehicle. So it's really important to note that, because what happened in 2019 is something that I never in a million years thought would happen. And here's what it was. My network marketing company decided to restructure their compensation plan. As a result, they were going from a multi-level component plan to a single level, which meant that all of the time and effort that I put into building leaders was no longer worth anything to me from a monetary perspective. So I went from a multiple six-figure income to $200 to $300 a month within 60 days. And I'm not sharing this to scare anybody, but the truth is, network marketing is entrepreneurship with training wheels. It's not actual entrepreneurship. I didn't own my downline. I didn't own product distribution. I didn't have a say in the direction of the company. The only thing I owned in that perspective was the skills that I had learned and gained, and the reputation that I had built for myself in the industry and what I was known for. And because of those things, when it came time to pivot and that happened, I was able to lean into, okay, what is the next evolution for me? What are my gifts? What do I love doing? What comes easily, and how can I monetize it? And so, fast forward to today, I'm not associated with a network marketing company. I don't build a network marketing. I help network marketers brand themselves, work through money mindset. I teach the foundational skills, and I freaking love network marketing. But for me, where I feel most aligned right now is working with them, not building a team. But because I had invested so much time and energy into growing myself and a particular skill set and branding myself, the pivot wasn't easy, but it worked, right?
I mean, I could stop the episode there, but I'm not going to. That was like multiple mic drops, and I can as you were saying what you were saying, I kept thinking about myself, and it makes so much more sense, and I'm so much more clear of why I went all in with LinkedIn, why I made the decision. And people ask me all the time, do you still build? And I confidently say no. I help other people build now, because you have to understand, there are a lot of network marketing coaches out there, but here's the big thing. I don't consider myself a coach. People have put that label on me. I am someone that highly, highly believes in the profession and the industry of network marketing. And I believe that there are some holes and gaps, not just in monetary literacy, which what Melissa is just a genius at teaching. But for me, I teach authentic lead generation on a business platform to actually do what Melissa and I did. We both had teams of 5,000 people, and we didn't enroll 5,000 people each. I can flat out tell you that we built organizations. We built up other leaders who built up other leaders. And this was the thing. I kept speaking to a lot of people, and everyone kept saying, I want to make more money. So then I started backtracking. All right. So the end result that all network marketers have is they want to make money. So where does it begin? Well, it begins with leads. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business, because leads engage in conversation, which then allow you to get to an answer, which eventually is going to be a yes, which then creates a sale, which then creates income. And you just have to go through that process as many times as you can. But a lot of people just don't know where to do that. So I just have to honor you for stepping into what your gift was, because, Melissa's story is very unique, but it's happened to other professionals in network marketing before, where they actually said, you know what? I'm just going to go to another company and I'm going to start over again. But intuitively, even before Melissa got the notification that we're changing over the model, your income, she was already building out the infrastructure of her what's next. And that is the true brilliance of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, just to let you guys know, and I'm not saying that people that are listening to this are not entrepreneurs, you're just at a different stage. We are always thinking about what else can we create? What is our next thing? Because, we know that, the average millionaire has anywhere between 4 to 6 streams of income. And just like Melissa said, your company owns your downline, not you. The only thing that you own is you and your personal brand. And it's so important for you guys to lean into that and build it, because you never know what's going to happen. So, Melissa, so many people are probably listening to this, and it's probably causing, different emotions, like obviously they're all proud of you, but I'm sure they're putting themselves in your shoes when you were notified that your company was doing what they did. And a lot of people may be thinking, like, I don't know if I would have been able to come out of that. So this goes back to the mindset. If someone asked you, like, Melissa, how did you just keep going? How did you come out of that and just continue to forge ahead without, and again, she's a human being. She definitely sat in her shit for a little while. Like, I mean, we all have our moments, but, she was primed and ready for this. So what was the big shift that you knew you had to make when you found all this out?
Well, the first thing I did was I felt the feels, right? It was every stage of grief. And there's 7 stages of grief. And grief isn't just related to someone passing away, right? Grief can happen when we end any kind of relationship, or we have an expectation that doesn't come to fruition. So one was just honoring that and giving myself space to process. And, you know, I think that having gone through the experience of losing my job in 2012 primed me for this experience. And I had to really sit back and ask myself, what did I miss the first time around? Right. And because I had done so much work from that experience around my money mindset, my worthiness, I invested in coaches and masterminds. There were a couple things that really helped get me through this. One was knowing that something better is coming. This is creating space. I know energetically that the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, like, it does not give us things that are not for us. What is for you will not pass you. And so it gave me an opportunity to pause and say, okay, this or something better. So if it's not this, what's something that I could create out of all this space? If I had the opportunity to create anything I want, what would it be? What are my gifts? What can I monetize? How can I serve? You know, you said network marketing is sales, and it is, but it's also service. And when you're in the energy of service, the price point is irrelevant because people buy the transformation, right? So what gift, what talent do I have right now that I can help move people out of pain and into pleasure? And the third thing was relationship capital. I had intentionally put myself in a community of people, in a mastermind, and like thought leaders that I could go to and say, I'm navigating through this. Can I have your perspective? What do you think about this? So I had a safe space to go to. So those were the 3 things I think, if I look back on it, really gave me an opportunity to, number one, pause and feel my feelings, but not stay there and not spiral down into the worst case scenario. Like I mentioned in the very beginning, my core wound is safety, and it shows up with money. So all of my money wounds came up, all of my fear around money, all of my fear around worthiness. And it was an invitation for me to do my own work. And like, it's the next level, like you said before, a new level, new devil, right? So whether it's $100,000 that you're losing or it's $1 million that you're losing, it's all relative to wherever your mindset is at. So even though I had lost my job 7 years ago and now I was losing my network marketing company, I had a skill set and tools that I could navigate through the pain of that. So I was able to navigate through it quicker. And honestly, this might sound a little woo-woo, but I sat in meditation. I do a lot of work around like the moon cycles, which again might be a little woo-woo, but we're in a new moon today, right now, as we're recording this. So I'll share this. New moons, think of the new moon, it's black, right? And what happens when a new moon goes to a full moon? It fills up with light. So when we're in a new moon phase, it's a great opportunity for you to sit and journal and reflect on, what do I want to call in? What do I want to bring in? What do I want to be filled up with? And I was sitting in a meditation and I was asking God, source, universe, whatever, like, what is for me? What am I here to do? What do I want to call into my life? And literally the download came in. You're going to have 4 one-to-one clients. This is what you're going to charge. This is how much money you're going to make. And this is how you're going to do it. And 2 days later, I signed my first client, one-to-one client. She paid in full. It was $4,500, which was amazing to me. And it gave me the confidence that I could go out and do it again. So I think, again, it's like getting really clear on, okay, why is this happening for me? How can I pivot out of this? Who can I go to for support? And how can I use my gifts and serve? And those were the things that really, and a little bit of woo-woo stuff in there, help me get my energy aligned.
Well, everyone needs a little sprinkling of the woo-woo
Yeah.
every once in a while.
I love a good woo,
So before we get to obviously the big announcement of what you're now doing and what you're launching and how people can get involved. So for that person that's been really resonating with not just your story, but maybe their struggle with money.
Mm.
What's the best piece of advice? Because again, we talk about circle of influence, and they may have not come from the best upbringing. They may not have the best circle that you and I have. And honestly, I am so grateful to Chris and we were just talking about this off air, what he put together in 2019 for all of us to truly become family and, still network and help each other. And it hasn't stopped. What, for that person that's lacking that, what's your best piece of advice for that person to, if they're flying solo right now, how can they move themselves forward?
So this is a great question. I actually have a lot of resources on my podcast, Boldly Courageous. There's quite a few episodes I did. I did one episode called 4 Money Mindset Shifts That Will Rock Your World. And I share a couple of tools that your listeners can use to shift their perspective. But the first place that you have to start, if you're feeling disempowered or any sort of way about your money, is just awareness, because there's an operating system that's running right now that you don't even know is running the show. So for me, it was just noticing my thoughts and my feelings around money. Like I remember very distinctly I would hear about a course, for example, and I would get this like visceral butterflies in my stomach. Like it was a hell yes. And the next question I would ask myself is, oh, but how much does it cost? I probably can't afford it. So just having that awareness around those thoughts and then deciding whether or not I wanted to choose something different. So awareness is definitely step one. Step two is get educated. And that's where the podcast comes in. So I knew that where I was at was not where I wanted to be. I knew that I wanted to change it. So the next step was, where can I find resources, or how can I get around people that have what I want and they can teach me their ways? So podcasting was huge for me, for sure. Books were huge. And then I eventually invested in a money mindset coach to really, I invested my money into a money mindset coach because I knew that if I didn't have somebody to call me on my BS and I wasn't financially invested in it, I wouldn't actually do it. And I knew that because I had bought some courses and I didn't finish them. So, and then the last thing I'll share is I got very intentional with setting aside time and space to connect with my money. So I shared this in my podcast episode, but we have a relationship with money. So how do you define it? And mine was crap and I wanted it to be better. And how do you enhance a relationship? It's time. You get present and you spend time. So I started doing money dates and started developing a really great relationship with my money. And then I started talking about it with people. And it moved me from a place of feeling really disempowered and judging myself to normalizing my situation and feeling empowered to change it.
And I had a very, I had a strange relationship with money at one point where I always had, it's funny. I always envisioned a certain amount of money in my bank account and I could never go over that amount. And I started shifting my mindset. I'm like, all right, I've hit that. Now let's go for this. Let's go for that. And it's been working. And I love money. And I always know, like, the universe is always conspiring in my favor. It always is. But again, I always go back to something that Robin Sharma says. He says, if you want to make millions, go find a way to serve millions. If you want to make billions, go find a way to serve and make billions. And that's the thing. You hear a lot of money mindset coaches, and everyone deserves to be wealthy. Everyone deserves to be rich. Everyone deserves to have that legacy money for themselves and their families and the generations. But you got to serve as many people as possible. The more lives you impact, the more income can show up. You have to give in order to get. So obviously I'm going to link that podcast episode in the description so the listeners can go and listen to it. So again, I want to make the special announcement, but before we do that, two things. Number one, how can people find out more about you on social media and where can they connect with you? And number two, what does success truly mean to you?
So I love hanging out on the gram. I do it for the gram every day at the Melissa Martin. I'm at the Melissa Martin on all the things. Please do not go to my LinkedIn page. I'm so sorry, Scott. It is on my list. I'm hiring a social media manager to help me with all the things.
It's all good.
But I hang out the most on Instagram. It's my favorite place. And what does success mean to me? Success to me, let me just feel into this for a second. Yeah. success for me is determined by my ability to align with my gifts and use them to serve others. And when I do that, abundance that is limitless is delivered to me. And that's how I feel that I'm truly successful. When I'm abundant in all forms and I have freedom and I have choices and I'm living in my purpose, that's success.
I love that. My friend Michelle Scaff always talks about living life like a life architect, where you're designing it yourself. I love that. Like just picturing like what an architect does, being a life architect. So, all right, let's get to the juicy part, what everyone's been waiting to hear. So we have a few minutes left. So let's talk about exactly what Melissa Martin is doing next.
This has been something that has been on my heart for a long time. I am obsessed with network marketing. I freaking love it. And I also recognize that, like we talked about earlier, not everybody comes in on the same level, same playing field. And a lot of the things that I've learned over the past, 7+ years of my own growth are things that just I don't see being taught. And I really wanted to provide a space for that network marketer that's like, they see the vision. They know, like, this is the thing that I want for my family. This is the vision I have for my life. Like, I want to live life on my terms. I want to live life by design. I want financial freedom. I want time freedom. And they just can't seem to crack the code. They cannot seem to just get traction. And they're in it, right? There are some fundamental things that you have to know in order to be successful in any business. And a lot of it is what we talked about today. It's your mindset. What is your vision? What do you want to be known for? What is your relationship with money? How comfortable are you talking about it? Like, are you treating your business like a business? What is the skill set that you need to learn in order to get to that next level? And the great thing about network marketing is that there's a system and a plan. However, this stuff doesn't fall under the system and a plan, and it's up to you to go figure it out. And so I've taken all of the best stuff, we'll call it all the best content that I've learned over investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into courses, into mentors, my own sales experience, my own life experience, my own experience building a team. And I've put it together into something that is so incredible. The results are just, okay. I'm sorry. Clearly I'm excited about this. Okay. The women that have gone through this program, the women that have really done the work, they have double and triple ranked over the time frame of 3 months. They have had their highest earning months ever. They've created boundaries in their personal lives. They have walked away from jobs that don't serve them. They have created new jobs that are amazing. They have worked less and made more. And isn't that the point? Like, we want to work less and make more. But in order to have more time and more money, you have to invest your money and your time. And so I've created this 6-week container for entrepreneurs, early stage entrepreneurs, that are going to give you all of the best tools and resources to thrive in your business, to thrive in your life, and really, really crack the code on network marketing. Like, I am so excited about this, and I literally cannot wait to see this next cohort of people go through this program, because it's going to change your life.
So what's the course called, and how can people sign up?
Okay. So the course right now is called the Ignite Academy. I might change it, so just know that. But so the program is called Ignite Academy. It's a 6-week long course. You can basically binge it in one day if you wanted to, or you can break it up over 6 weeks. There's worksheets and modules. There's journal prompts that go along with it. You asked what the investment was, right?
No. Where can they find out?
Where can they find it?
Information, yeah.
So you can find me on social media.
You can't give away all the juicy.
No, I was like, wait, what?
All the juicy parts.
Yeah. There will be some fast acting bonuses if you decide to enroll when we open the cart here in a couple weeks. But you can find more information at the Melissa Martin on Instagram, or you can go to my website, themelissamartin.com. You'll find information there, or you can DM me. I love hanging out in the DM. So if you have questions, if you want to hop on a clarity call, we can set up a time to do that too.
And I can attest to this. So I actually was connected by Melissa to 2 of the outstanding women that actually went through this course. And they just told me, and I've been, obviously honored. I did a training for them as well, but they told me, and I saw, firsthand what happened to this group of women and the shifts that they made. And people hear that, they're like, oh, 3 months, I can double and triple rank. Absolutely. So much can happen in so little time when it's the right focus time in your mind. So guys that are listening to this, women, men, whoever, entrepreneurs, everyone deserves to be a part of this. All of the information of how to get in touch with Melissa, how to find out about this program, and how to, most importantly, enroll in this program, everything will be in the show notes. And, I highly encourage you, even just getting on a discovery call with her and just feeling her energy and having her explain what this is going to do for you and your business is going to be absolutely instrumental. And I can't wait for you guys to dig into this. But more importantly, Melissa, I have so much love and gratitude for you because, obviously you brought the fire months ago when you came on with Sandy, and I'm just, so excited and happy to see you on the journey that you're on, because I know that you've found your calling and you're going to continue to find your calling and help so many people. And I can't wait to see what happens from this. So 1, congratulations. And 2, thank you so, so much for being here today.
Scott, it's my pleasure. And I'm just so grateful to serve. Honestly, this feels like my life's work. It feels like fun. And I literally get so much joy and fulfillment out of seeing other people succeed and break through blocks and really get what they're looking for out of network marketing. So thank you for giving me a platform to share my gifts. I'm so grateful for you.
Absolutely. And guys, as always, she hangs out on the gram, so don't be afraid to slide into her DM. As dirty as that sounds, you can slide on in there, and it's just, doesn't it? It just sounds.
No, DM to me stands for debt money. So
no,
get in my DMs.
When someone says just slide on into my DM. So anyway, as always, I love hearing your feedback. So head over to iTunes. Leave a rating and review. We would love to hear your feedback, what your biggest takeaways were. Obviously, you can tag us on Instagram and let us know what really moved you forward. So guys, please enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you again so much for checking out this week's episode. And if you can, head over to iTunes, search for Network Marketing Made Simple, leave me a 5-star rating, basic review. I would be grateful for all of the support you guys can give me. And again, if you'd be interested in learning more how to utilize LinkedIn to grow your business, your brand, and your bank account, head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net. Fill out the form for your free 15-minute discovery call so I can learn more about you, your business, and how we can work together. And again, thank you guys so much. Grateful for you all, and I'll see you next time.